People ask Reddit. What's the dumbest way you've managed to get laid? Halloween, I decided wanna be cop. Buy funny cop outfit from Comedy Central show. Dummy gets real handcuffs and forgets keys at home. We head to house party in literally 10 minutes and some hot girl walks up to me and takes my handcuffs and cuffs herself to me as joke. I'm drunk and laughing at her and then realize oh shit I don't have key. We ended up spending the entire night together since we were cuffed playing beer pong, going out for smokes and just laughing about how we are handcuffed to each other and then I remember I have spare key at my place. Take taxi back to my apartment, end up having some kinky sex. Wake up still cuffed lol. Parked in a multi-story car park while we went on our first date, had some grub. End of the night I offer her a lift home, she accepts. We walk to where I parked. The multi-story car park is locked after 10 p.m. I hadn't noticed signs saying this would happen and didn't think it was a ducking thing in the first place. She invites me back to her sofa after I ask for any recommendations on taxi providers. An hour later we're both having the sex of our lives. A girl I met in class was lost for her next class. Showed her the way and got her number, you know, if she gets lost again. We parted for the day. She was pretty so I ran the story to my roommate. Roommate decided to play a dumb joke by sending her a message saying that I miss her already. She texted her dorm address. Brought some food but she wanted to do something else. That was it. Lol. A girl I worked with told my mate that she had a thing for me. Mate told me so on the next night out I approached her with unflappable confidence and we had a good night. Spoke to my mate the next day about it and he told me he got her name wrong, it was another girl who liked me. Update, thanks for the awards. Totally unnecessary but much appreciated. And yes, I did end up having a casual thing with girl too a couple of months later. I jokingly told my sister's friend she was on my to-do list. She took it seriously and asked if I wanted to cross her off. Her version, my friend's brother said I was on his Toto list, I jokingly said wanna cross me off? He took it seriously. Reality, he was joking, she was joking, they both took the joke seriously. Stared at this woman and when she said, "What?" I said, "I'm trying to seduce you. I'm just really bad at it." We have 3 kids now. I was at a bar and a girl sat down next to me. Her, "What brings you here?" Me, "Trying to get laid." Her, "Lol, me too." Me, looking around the room. "Yeah, there's some good looking people here." Her, says nothing, just stares at me. Me, "Oh." My friend was at the club and he's the kind of guy that doesn't go to clubs at all. He saw a girl on the dance floor he liked and we all told him he should go talk to her. He went down and 10 minutes later we see him walking out the club with the girl he liked. We were all shocked he got a girl the first try. The next day we asked what happened and he told us he just complimented how good her belly button looked. We all laughed our butt off. I had a friend in college who would just walk up and say, "Hi, my name is X, wanna duck?" He figured that although the odds were 20 to 1, if he asked 20, he would get 1. Of course, he got a lot of crap, insults etc. but he also got laid a lot. Spotless bathroom, she told me later she was undecided until she seen my bathroom was spotless. A Tinder match said I looked like Seth Rogen, she invited me to a hangout. When I got there she told me that if she could have sex with any celebrity, it would be Seth Rogen and I laughed. She then introduced me to a couple of her friends, and she asked them if I could duck any celebrity, who would it be? And they both said Seth Rogen. And I was a close enough second. Let a girl eat some of my ramen at a party, she insisted on having more and I told her there was plenty more back at my apartment. A girl at a bar said I have beautiful eyes. Everyone tells me blue shirts make my eyes look great. I was wearing one, and had just painted my bedroom blue. Skipping that context, I just replied, "You should see how good they look in my bedroom." I pretty much just asked, and it was someone I hadn't been flirting with or detected any attraction from. I was asking as a joke, and they said sure. I was still wondering during when we were going to end the joke. It'll be funny if you end up marrying, have a kid, grow old and die. Because neither of you wanted to break the joke. Are you making fun of my marriage? I put free oral all December on my dating profile. We've been together since the middle of last December. Free trials get paying customers if the service is worth it. My boyfriend is, in general, an awful guesser at things. Like to the point that it's a running joke. During a holiday his job had this jar of candy where you'd guess the number of individual bits. I visited him at work one day and he asked me if I wanted to guess. I agree, he says, can we make it interesting? And I'm like, sure. So I agreed that if I won he'd take my car in for an oil change and tune-up, which I just hate doing. And if he won I'd let him do, insert kinky sex thing here. Thinking this idiot is an awful guesser, I've got this in the bag. Anyways, so this mother ducker is the one who put the candy in there. I am stupid. He still took my car in, by the way, and I didn't have the worst time ever. Edit, since a lot of people asked, it was nothing super insane, he's just always liked the idea of. I don't think he actually had prior having sex outside. The first time it was at his job, but it's actually been pretty fun. Cross your fingers, it'd be an embarrassing thing to go to jail for. Some girl I hung out with had an older sister who was a true, majestic 10/10 but 6 years older than me. I would flirt with her all the time but never even got close. I was a senior in high school so I kind of expected it. One night I saw her at a club and she ended up needing a ride home with all her friends, before Uber days. Her house was the closest so I dropped her off first. About 2 minutes after the last girl was dropped off, she texted me asking if I could come back real quick to kill a giant spider in her house because she was freaked out. I drove back. At this point I was sort of hoping she was lying to get me to come over. But she led me to her bedroom and lo and behold, showed me a ducking giant spider. I killed it. But then threw a Hail Mary and said, you know, if there was one, there's probably more, and joked with her that I should stay so I didn't have to waste gas when the rest came out. She laughed, so I said, did it work? Within 30s we were having the craziest sex of my life. A woman at my job said that my feet were sexy. I was wearing sandals. I said okay, thanks. Before our workday was over she asked if I wanted to go to her place. I was like, sure, thinking this was just a social visit. We get to her place and she says, you need to shower. I was like, I'm okay. I took a shower and she steps in as well, and from there on we had lovely sex, but she was indeed into feet and spent a lot of time sucking my toes, which I learned that day did nothing for me. We missed dinner reservations, so I suggest we go back to my place to find another restaurant. Pre-smartphone era, I lived nearby and wanted to Google something. We ended up having sex and snacking on whatever was in my kitchen. Met a girl. Asked her out to dinner. She agreed. A few nights later we are out. As we are concluding dinner I tell her the dessert at this restaurant sucks, but I have some better dessert at my place. I was being sincere, as I had some homemade dessert a coworker so had made me recently and it was delicious, still some of the best fudge brownies I've ever had, and I had some vanilla ice cream to pair with it. We go back, and she asks to use the bathroom. I go to the kitchen to prep dessert. I soon hear her call my name from the bedroom. Bedroom was connected to bathroom by closet, which I found odd. Walk in, girl is very naked and in a position of preparedness for lack of a better term, and I'm standing there dumbfounded with a big bowl full of brownies and ice cream with 2 spoons. The sex was great and the brownies afterward were banging. By far one of my more eventful evenings. Edit, I got a lot of questions about whether or not the ice cream melted before the deed was done. The answer to that being mostly. Fortunately I have a rule about not overloading my brownie with ice cream, so there was room to top off for the post-exercise reward and still have a delicious treat. Personally, everyone won in this situation. She and I never really went anywhere relationship-wise, but I still cherish as quite the funny moment. I lost my virginity by admitting I still had it. I said the 3 words I'm a virgin and within 5 minutes I wasn't anymore. It was in my own home and into a sex addict. She was really freaky and never took someone's virginity before me. We had really good sex, but it was all the time once we got into a relationship. It was nigh at a music festival, midnight just struck and I looked at the girl next to me and we kissed. I then said, how'd you like to start 2000X with a bang? We then went back to Tent City and got it on. Never spoke anything else or saw her again. Thank you for listening to another B-Town Reddit Stories episode. Hit the subscribe button and check out our channel for more stories. Let us know your opinion about this topic in the comments.